Will 2026's They Will Kill You be a killer night out?
Or a cinematic sacrifice? Find out next on the cutting room floor.
You're a sacrifice.
But I got these hands. What's up, misfits and metalheads, and welcome to another episode of the cutting room floor. We are from the band Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I'm Rose Blood.
And today we are talking about They Will Kill You. Currently streaming on HBO Max. But first, don't forget we have music all over the place. Go hook a band up and join our mailing list. Rose, why don't we dive into this one? Why don't you tell them a little bit about it?
Well, this is about a woman who's in trouble. She's an ex-con. She's trying to get her life together. She takes a job as a housekeeper for an exclusive and fancy high-rise in New York City. Unfortunately, the rich clientele of this high-rise might have some questionable intentions.
Here we go. Here we go.
And that's pretty much the premise. That's some of the premise. I don't want to spoil it too much for you. This was a super fun film. Some people are calling it a combination of Evil Dead and Kill Bill. I don't think that's quite it. I think it's kind of a mix of Evil Dead, Ready or Not, and Tarantino vibes sprinkled all throughout.
I feel like that's more accurate. I wouldn't necessarily think, it didn't make me think of Kill Bill.
No,
it definitely
not at all.
made me think Evil Dead mashed up with something else. I like your description better.
Yeah. I think it's a lot closer to something like Ready or Not.
Yep.
But it has it's definitely going for some Tarantino vibes, and these Tarantino vibes are escalated by the fact that one of the main antagonists, Lily Woodhouse, is played by none other than Patricia Arquette, who was the star of Quentin Tarantino's True Romance, which was an incredible movie. Not only that, but she has a huge backlog of amazing movies that she's been in. She's been in the TV show Severance, Boardwalk Empire. She had her own TV show, The Medium, that she was in. She was no stranger to horror. She was in the movie Stigmata, and she was the final.
I remember that.
She was the final girl of A Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors, one of my absolute favorite Nightmare on Elm Street films.
I think that might be my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film also.
Yeah, so that was
a fantastic
I really love Patricia Arquette. I think she's a freaking awesome actor. She has an amazing range, and she is definitely chopping up the scenery, and she's just she's a really cool character in this film. And it took me a second to recognize her, because she's kind of done up in a more kind of matronly way. She's kind of the head of this building and stuff, and she's like the head of all of the staff, and she's in charge of everything there. So she has like this much more adult matronly vibe than you're kind of used to seeing from her. So it was really cool. There's a lot of little cool little Easter eggy kind of things to me in this film. One of the other characters that are one of the rich denizens of this high-rise is named Kevin, and he is played by Tom Felton. And yes, that is, in fact, Draco Malfoy from the Harry Potter series. Yes. And not, the original movies, not the TV series. Also, we've got Sharon, who's played by Heather Graham from Boogie Nights, and a million other awesome films.
Yep,
I'm always excited to see Heather Graham. She's such a beautiful actor, and she's also just really she's just fun. She's got a really cool vibe, and it's really fun seeing her. She's usually like a nice character, so it's kind of fun seeing her being like a bad character. She's definitely. I feel
it was a pleasant surprise.
I feel like she's having a good time being a bad guy in this. So it was really fun to see her let loose.
This is another one that I did not see any trailers for. I heard about this one from you. I don't know where I've been. I haven't been really seeing trailers. I don't know where I've been.
I'm always tapped in. I'm always ingesting horror media, so I always know when stuff is coming out, and I'm always like, "Oh, we gotta see this one." Yeah, and he's like, I don't know, maybe we'll watch
we
it.
just put it on. She was like, "It's a Sam Raimi movie." I'm like, "All right, that's good enough. Just put it on then."
Exactly. Sam Raimi is obviously, the freaking man. man, Mr. Spider-Man, Mr. Evil Dead. So
Yeah.
he is a producer on this. It is directed by Kirill Sokolov, and he also wrote it along with Alex Litvak, who wrote the that Predators movie with Adrian Brody, where they're on like the planet and stuff like that.
That's a good one. I like that.
He also actually, you might be interested in this one because I know you love yourself some Musketeer and some Swatch of the Buckle. He actually did that Three Musketeers movie with Mila Jovovich in it.
That was a cool one.
Yeah, he
I
wrote
remember
that one
one
as well. So, and he's actually the writer of the new Masters of the Universe live action film.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, the main actor for this film is Zazie Beetz. She plays Asia Reeves.
That's a cool name.
Isn't that a cool name? She was Domino in Deadpool 2, and her sister Maria Reeves is played by Mihala. She was Jordan in the movie Bodies, 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 so she's got some horror credibility to herself as well. So I think this is a pretty stacked cast, actually. It was really fun. I really loved the fight choreography in this.
Same.
And I really liked how freaking bonkers some of the special effects got. It got so weird, and that's what gave me that Evil Dead vibe. It has the perfect combination to me of like horror, comedy, and action and bloody gore all over the place.
Definitely. This is a very pleasant surprise for me, not coming into it blind, not knowing what it was about. You know, when stuff started happening, like some stuff starts happening like pretty early on, which is a pleasant surprise. They don't drag it out. Stuff starts just kind of happening, and they kind of set the base up, and it's like, here we go. And I was like, whoa, that was quick, and that was way wilder than I expected to happen so early in the movie.
Exactly.
And then you just kind of keep going from there, and it gets so wild at a point. I had no idea this was somewhat Evil Dead-like. I had no idea. And
I
then
did.
I see some stuff later. I'm like, wait, hold on, what is happening? You're like, I'm like, I have to adjust my expectations now, but in a good way, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So in case you didn't know here, we like to grade via chainsaw with 5 chainsaws being a masterpiece of horror. 1 chainsaw. Well, you ain't killing anybody with that. So, for Black, how many chainsaws would you give to They Will Kill You?
So I was a little bit back and forth with what I wanted to give this one. I enjoyed this one a lot. I wanted to give it a rating that we don't have a system for. I kind of wanted it.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
what do you got?
I kind of wanted to give it an in-between, but since I don't, I'm actually going to round this one up. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5 chainsaws.
Nice.
I was going to, you know, I wanted like an in-between, like a 4 and a 4.5, honestly, but we don't do that here.
No.
So I'm going to round it up because it was highly enjoyable, very unexpected, ridiculous, but like Evil Dead style ridiculous. And once you understand it's Evil Dead style ridiculous, then it's like, okay, go ahead, do what you're going to do. If it's anything else, I might be like, I don't know. But Evil Dead style, I'm like, yes. Yes, for me, very much. It's just a fun, fantastic, crazy movie. Well acted. The action scenes are out of hand. They're over the top, like violent when they need to be. And it's just highly enjoyable to see something and somebody not pull punches with their action and violence and telling the story how they want. It's just fun. I love Sam Raimi and the style of movies that he makes. I just love it. It's my jam, you know?
Yeah,
Rose,
absolutely.
what are you going to give this one?
I am going to give They Will Kill You 4.5 chainsaws as well. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And I'm going to tell you why. I think this was super fun. This is exactly up my alley. I love horror comedy. And I love action.
Right. Yeah.
I love really good fights. This film is full of these fights are insane because there's a whole supernatural element to it, which is again why you get that. And when we're talking about Evil Dead, we're talking about the OG Evil Dead. We're not talking about the newer Evil Dead, even though those are fun as well. They don't have that lighthearted comedic vibe that I really love the most from the original Evil Dead films. Again, that's because, those, whatever your first exposure is to something, that's how it's always going to color your perception of any anything
I
moving
agree.
forward. You know what I
Totally.
mean? I'm not saying that the newer Evil Dead films don't have insane gore in them or crazy special
But
effects,
it's a
because of
different
course they do. But it's
feeling.
just,
It's a different vibe. It's a different feeling that they're going
it's
for.
definitely
you know?
meaner. It's definitely colder, and there's something to be said, in my opinion, for that kind of goofiness that I crave it. So if you're
Right?
a person who also craves a little bit of goofiness, a little bit of comedy with your horror action, you want to see heads flying, fingers getting cut off, hands getting chopped, you're gonna get that out of this film. But you're also gonna get those really amusing, silly moments that I just grew up with, like, so many films that were of this genre of, like, this body horror and comedy and just like
horror
kind of
comedy,
slapsticky, almost cartoon, like not cartoonish, like to the point where you're not, there's no stakes involved, but like I need a little bit of that. I need a little bit of that goofiness, and I was very pleasantly surprised to find that this film that I thought was going to be a much more straightforward, action-y kind of thing ended up being exactly what I was looking for in terms of great action, over the top special effects and horror, but then having that little goofiness, that stylishness also. That's where you get that, for me, that's where I felt a little bit of that Tarantino-esque vibe in, there's like all the, just the stylishness of it, the dialogue, it's very dialogue heavy. There's like some over like narrations and stuff like that. Like, I feel like there was definitely a little bit of an homage to that kind of Tarantino vibe in this, and that was super fun to me as well. So you have your homework.
You're welcome. Don't forget, do all the things, like, subscribe, follow, share it, do all this stuff. Give us some streams. We got music out. We're currently back in the lab writing up some new tasted tunes. Like, I'm pretty excited of what we're working on right now, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with all of you later on this year. I was trying to do like a couple of singles throughout, but I think we're just gonna like stockpile it and get this album together, and then we'll deal with the singles later, because it's time to get these new tunes to all of you. That's all for today. We are from Cut Like This, and we are out.